Well, hello and welcome to this week's episode of On Deck with Avoya, your weekly travel update. I'm your host, Chris Green, Director of Network Expansion for Avoya Travel, and we certainly appreciate your time, as always, for tuning into our show and for engaging on a weekly basis. Very much appreciated. We have a great show lined up for you today. As we focus on the power of partnerships and relationships, Mickey McBride, Senior Director of Strategic Partnerships, will be joining us for an Avoya Insider look at this vital topic. Mickey works directly with some of our most important vendors, some of our biggest accounts, and I think you're going to want to hear what Mickey has to say here in just a few moments when he joins us here on the show. We're also going to feature some of the top stories in the travel world this week, as always, in our Eye on the Industry feature. Some of the stories we have for you today include the CDC rolling back its cruise COVID oversight and the impact that's going to have on leisure travel. We're going to discuss the new owners of Crystal Cruises as they mull ideas on how to rebuild trust with that iconic brand. And Carnival rolls out a new loyalty-based merchandise store for travel agents, all part of its Loyalty Rocks program. All of those stories coming up here in just a moment on today's On Deck with Avoya. We're also excited to share details of our new Veterans Appreciation discount on affiliation as we honor those that have and do serve our nation. And we'll wrap up today's show with some information on our best-in-class resources for both those that are new to the travel industry, because we have an amazing track record with helping those new to the industry, as well as those established travel agents looking for a new home, a better place to launch their business from, more support, better technology, live leads. And of course, we'll make sure you have all the ways to reach out and get the process started, because that remains our whole goal with On Deck with Avoya, to connect with you, the travel professional, or those looking to get established in our industry, to share with you the deep resources offered to those in the Avoya network, to point out some of the differences in how we operate and how other companies operate, and explain how our network is the network known industry-wide as the one where agents sell more, generate more commissions, and are part of the #1 host agency in the industry, and that's for 7 years running now. So details are available always at avoyanetwork.com. Okay, let's get going with today's show, On Deck with Avoya, your weekly travel update. And as we start with some industry insights and our Eye on the Industry feature. Well, the big news, and one that is certainly being met with great excitement by the travel industry, is the CDC has ended its COVID-19 programs for cruise ships. Quoting from the CDC's website, CDC has worked closely with the cruise industry, state, territorial, and local health authorities, and federal and seaport partners to provide a safer and healthier environment for cruise passengers and crew. Cruise ships have access to guidance and tools to manage their own COVID-19 mitigation programs. The CDC added that while cruise poses some risk of COVID-19 transmission, the CDC will continue to publish guidance to help cruise ships continue to provide a safer, healthier environment for crew, passengers, and communities going forward. Reaction to the news has been very positive with the travel industry community, as you might imagine. CLIA spokesperson Ann Madison said this is an important step forward in the CDC aligning the guidelines for cruise with those it has established for other travel, hospitality, and entertainment sectors. And that's really what it comes down to, right? A level playing field. Carnival's corporation, their outgoing CEO, Arnold Donald, was quoted as saying, "It demonstrates that the world is starting to deal with the virus and learning to manage by living with it. Any positive progress is good progress." And then late, just before our broadcast started, we heard that Virgin Voyages is going to be the first major cruise line to actually drop pre-testing requirements for all sailings leaving the United States. That change is expected to roll out later in July. And I think they're going to be the first of many, with other announcements coming fairly soon. The new owners of Crystal Cruise brand are mulling ideas on how to rebuild brand loyalty with that cruise line's former loyal following. A&K Travel Group, which acquired the Crystal Serenity and Crystal Symphony cruise ships, as well as the Crystal brand, plans to return the ships to service in 2023 following a significant refurbishment. A&K hinted it would incentivize cruisers to return to the brand under new ownership, while also distancing the new Crystal from the financial woes of the former brand, whose customers lost deposits, and the travel agent community who lost commissions when the brand folded back in February. Christina Levis, CEO of A&K Travel Group, said, "We sympathize with those travel partners and customers that are still waiting for claim settlements from the Crystal Cruise case. We recognize that we must rebuild trust and confidence and expect to soon communicate about goodwill initiatives for 2023 sailings." Royal Caribbean Group, who purchased the former Crystal Endeavor and will be moving that ship to its Silversea brand, announced on Monday that it will honor lost deposits of Crystal Cruises customers who were booked to sail the Crystal Endeavor before its company filed to wind down, leading Crystal to cease operations again back in the spring. Again, this is an ongoing story and one we're going to keep a close eye on. And thank you to Travel Weekly for some of the details in that report. And finally, in a story from Travel Pulse, Carnival Cruise Line has revealed its latest offering for the travel advisor community, launching its first ever Loyalty Rocks merchandise store, where travel advisors can redeem their reward points for a variety of unique Carnival branded merchandise. The online store is currently offering a vast array of products at limited availability, including Carnival's Agent Palooza and Travel Agent Rocks apparel and accessories, Carnival funnel embossed items such as games, travel-inspired products like luggage tags, technology in the form of wireless speakers and charging pads, cooler bags, can holders, among other items. Quoting Carnival's Senior Vice President of Global Sales and Trade Marketing, Adolfo Perez, our loyalty Rocks program rewards our amazing travel advisors for the important work they do in support of their clients day in and day out. And we're always looking for new and fun ways to make the rewards program an impactful tool that supports and grows their business. The store was developed based on travel advisors' feedback and requests for special Carnival branded items that they could share with their clients, family, and friends. So we hope they love their new reward featuring designs just for them. Happy selling, and make sure you get that special swag. All right, time to move forward with my favorite segment of our weekly On Deck with Avoya show, our interview segment, where I get to sit down with some amazing people, including colleagues from Avoya Travel or our network, or in some cases, the industry at large, for a great Q&A session on the important topics impacting the travel industry today. Well, today we get a chance to highlight the very important resource of partnerships. Let's face it, partnerships are so vital for the success of the Avoya network and any travel advisor for that right. They go right to the heart of commission levels, the exclusive marketing that Avoya Travel is able to offer, the variety and effectiveness of our live lead program, and so many other important factors. That's why we're thrilled to have our special guest, Mickey McBride, Senior Director of Strategic Partnerships, making a return visit to our show. When Mickey was last with us last year, it was one of our most watched episodes for good reason, and we're happy to have him back for another discussion today. So let's welcome Avoya Insider and our special guest for On Deck with Avoya, your weekly travel update, Mickey McBride. Mickey, welcome back to the program, my friend.
Thank you so much, Chris. It was great seeing you a few weeks ago, and I just want to say it's quite an honor to be considered an insider now, so thank you for inviting me back.
Absolutely. Mickey, for those that may have missed your previous appearance on our show, can you give us a little bit of your background and how you ended up working with Avoya Travel?
Yeah, so this is a great story. Somewhat embarrassing for the colleague of mine that I'm about to kind of put on blast here, but my now brother-in-law and one of my best friends growing up is Andy Craig, and he is our AVP of marketing. And he started with Avoya straight out of college. We both grew up in the San Diego area and joined the marketing team at that point. I did real estate for about a year and a half, and a position came up in what was partnerships, but then considered business development. And it was a great opportunity. So Andy helped put in a good word, and he likes to say that he got me my first job, which is when we were 16, 17, working at a local Quiznos sub shop. And now here we are working together at Avoya Travel. So it's been quite a ride. It's been now over 9 years.
Wow, that's amazing. And Andy Craig, also a two-time guest here on Deck with Avoya, and also a great Avoya insider. So, we love Andy's contribution to our program as well. As the Senior Director of Strategic Partnerships, Mickey, what kind of things does your job entail, and how does that directly benefit those in the Avoya network?
Yeah, that's a great question. So fortunately for me, things are fresh every single day. There's a lot of different components that I'm doing, whether it's working directly with our partnerships and the vendors directly across all product types, whether it's supporting the network through education. We do a lot of wonderful events as we've continued to scale our product offering. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's about working with our partners to maximize those efforts that benefit the network. So that's enhanced supports, those top commission levels, marketing. So it's great that I have that relationship with Andy, so we can make sure that we're driving those live leads to our independent agencies in the Avoya network. So it's definitely a mixed bag of responsibilities. I work closely with a number of internal teams on the accounting side, again, to support our partnerships, working with business intelligence, always looking at ways to increase our analytics, which in turn helps us make great decisions to, again, better support the network through content, through leads, and so much more.
Mickey, land is just smoking hot right now, right? I mean,
Yeah.
all-inclusive bookings remain incredibly strong. Is that fair to say?
Oh, it's our fastest growing segment for sure, and it's been a huge silver lining of this pandemic is the opportunity for Avoya to better support all-inclusive resorts. Both on the partnership side of things with my team, but just across the organization. And so it's been fun to watch how engaged the Avoya network is when it comes to all-inclusive resorts. We actually just got back a couple of months ago from our landform event. I've been really involved with the all-inclusive side for 4 or 5 years now, and the landform was a way for us to better align the independent agencies in the network with the right partners that they want to be selling. So it really brought up the number of partners that we have to work with the Avoya network because it's again a great example of relationships. That's so key when it comes to support. Our landform for the first time was at an all-inclusive, so we spent some great time at the Hilton Cancun with 100 plus attendees. So we're definitely making a lot of strides, and been fun to watch those just again the engagement, the sales, and the new customers coming in.
Yeah, I know my team loves talking about our positioning, with the all-inclusive resorts because it's such an important factor right now and whether or not people want to get involved in our industry. As a follow-up on my last question, and you kind of answered some of this already, Mickey, but what are some of the ways that Avoya Travel is positioned to help capture that upswing in land vacations for our network?
So education is key, building those relationships. The work that our partnerships team here is doing to better connect the supplier partners, because there's a number of great all-inclusive hoteliers, just cruise lines. I mean, you name it. We have pretty much a product type that is preferred for the Avoya network and anything that your customer is looking to sell. So when it comes to the upswing and land vacation specifically, other than education, another great opportunity has been that consumer marketing efforts that we're doing to generate those leads. And actually, just the other day, we announced that we have new marketing plans with 3 different all-inclusive partners. So that's a great opportunity for advisors in the Avoya network to really specialize and find a partner that they enjoy selling, that they're comfortable with, and then for us to be able to drive customers interested in that product to them. So it's kind of a win-win across the board.
And the numbers don't lie. I mean, that's the amazing thing is that with the efforts that we put forth the last couple of years, we're certainly in the network, the Avoya network is reaping the benefits of that.
Absolutely. It's been great to see a little bit of a more equal proportion, I'll say, in terms of what the Avoya network is booking, and really focusing on not just cruise or escorted tours, but all-inclusive resorts, private homes and villas. You name it, there's now a really concentrated effort to find and curate the right partnerships with these supplier vendors, and again, better align that with what the network's looking for.
Travel's so unique, right, Mickey? I mean, because relationships and partnerships still really matter at the highest levels, in my opinion. What are some of the feedback that you're hearing from partners on the future of our industry? And are they still pretty bullish in the long term?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that CDC announcement that you covered, Chris, is a huge game changer. The recent announcement that was made of lifting the COVID testing requirement to get back into the States, that's going to really help curate that demand that has been pent up. And that's, again, why so many partners across every product type are extremely bullish in the long term. Some are actually seeing more and reaping that benefit in the short term. For example, the all-inclusive resorts, more of the domestic partners. But cruise long term is still going to be amazing. I mean, all these ships that are being built and deployed, it's really a good time to be selling travel.
Yeah, I mean, if I wasn't going to sell travel, I might look at either building resorts or getting involved in the shipbuilding industry because, it's amazing despite everything that we've went through in the last couple of years, given COVID and the economic downturn and all the talk of inflation. But going hand in hand with that, every single week when I look at all the industry news, it's this resort is breaking ground and that resort is breaking ground and this resort is undergoing a refurbishment and we have a new ship launching by so-and-so. I mean, it just is amazing the amount of new products that continue to come online almost on a monthly basis.
Oh yeah, there's something for everyone. And I think what's been really cool to see with these products that are coming up is just the elevation in the experience, whether it's luxury, whether it's some additional bells and whistles. These vendors that we work closely with are continuing to innovate and evolve their products. And that's what we ultimately do here at Avoya too. So it's a great match to, again, better support the network. I mean, I'm actually here in North County, San Diego, sitting in an innovation center, as we call it. So that's just, again, kind of a testament to the way that we're wired and the way that we're able to think outside the box and come up with great feedback for both our partners and the independent agencies.
Mickey, when we had you on the show last time, I think I asked you this before, but it's worth asking again.
Yeah.
Why do partnerships matter so much, and why should the strength of Avoya's partnerships be a reason that someone would want to affiliate with the Avoya network?
I love that question. There's a lot of different answers, but I'll kind of drill it down to three. So one is that enhanced support. And we're always looking at ways to better connect a bridge between the supplier partners directly to these independent agencies. And again, being there for customer service issues, education opportunities, building overall awareness. Second one is just those top commissions. So you talked about that earlier. You know, you're going to see best in class across the board, but with commission levels on the supplier partner side, you know, we're looking at ways to find policies that can help better support the network. Marketing offers and leads are going to be kind of wrapped into that third key component that I'll talk about, Chris. The amount of exclusive offers that our team negotiates and secures is across pretty much every vendor. It's giving that competitive advantage to help close that sale, and it works great in tandem with what our marketing team is doing to drive demand in the marketplace.
That's a pretty powerful 1, 2, 3 combination right there, my friend. Mickey McBride, Senior Director of Strategic Partnerships for Avoya Travel, is our featured Avoya Insider guest today. Last month, Mickey, we had a really successful event in Las Vegas. It was great to see you and face-to-face, and it really highlighted the value of strategic partnerships with our friends at Apple Leisure Group Vacations. Can you give us a few of the highlights from that event and what you're hearing from those that attended on the feedback has been for those that attended?
Yeah, relationships are so key, whether it is with our partners or with peers, right? So you're getting a great group of independent agencies that were in attendance, and they're able to network and build that relationship with Apple Leisure Group Vacations, our great partners at AMR Collection, which is a wonderful all-inclusive portfolio of different brands and properties. It was fun to watch that level of engagement, see, you know, how they can help grow each other's mutual business. And then ultimately what always really stands out to me in any event that we do is just the camaraderie between the Avoya network. Truly as a family, you know, we had people that stayed until well after we kind of closed up shop, so to speak, right? And just the amount of joy that everybody had. We had a wonderful independent agency who is actually part of Apple Leisure Group Vacations host advisory board. So again, just kind of a testament to the strength of affiliates in the network and our partnerships with certain brands. She was able to speak up and, you know, kind of, I think it was just cool for everybody to hear from us on the staff side, Chris, to hear from a supplier partner like Apple Leisure Group Vacations, but also again to hear from their peer.
It's one of my favorite stories to tell, Mickey. I mean, it's just the vibe that is different with Avoya Travel. I mean, having been on both sides of the coin as a former affiliate in the Avoya network, you could feel it there. Certainly feel it on this side as an employee. I think it stems from that Anderson family feel and how they carry themselves as a family and how all of that is permeated down. But it really is the special sauce. I mean, people don't realize what a difference that level of engagement and how special those little moments could be, I think.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, going back to the land farm we had in May, it's hard to put into words what the vibe and the environment was, just because, you know, that networking component and being around people after so long, right? We haven't been able to do an in-person event for a couple of years now. It's just always very humbling and just amazing to see like the work that our teams are putting together pays off when we see the Avoya network and the supplier partners having such a great time.
What about future events? Anything on the horizon that maybe you can highlight or share with us today, Mickey?
Absolutely. So we actually just completed our first ever hotel event, which was a great opportunity for a couple of hundred affiliates in the Avoya network to connect more one-to-one with not just these hotel brands, but also specific properties. So that's really a new, like a new and unique component of what we're trying to do. But then we also have our first ever luxury forum that's taking place next month. And that's going to be, again, another vacation style that is going to help support both the partners, but also the independent agencies in the network that are focused on that. So we're really trying to diversify the opportunities and aligning certain vendors at certain times. But then we do close the year with our big conference. That's going to be both virtual in October and then in person on the Amazing Celebrity Beyond in November. And then to actually start with another first time event, we do have a new affiliate virtual event in December. So that's going to be a great opportunity for hopefully many of you to come in and meet some of these partners that you'll probably want to sell right off the bat.
Fantastic stuff. Such an exciting year. What about away from work, Mickey? Any exciting travel that you've had a chance to take recently, or anything that's on the horizon coming up here in the next little bit?
Yeah, so we went on an amazing baby moon actually to Maui, and that was after Memorial Day. So with that being said, it's going to be pretty scarce for me on future travel with a wonderful baby girl coming here soon. So we'll have to see what happens, whether my wife and I want to take an adults only vacation or if we bring her. But yeah, I'm super excited for what those new vacation memories are going to look like with a newborn.
So amazing, and congratulations, Mickey. And it's such wonderful news to hear. What did you love about Hawaii? What makes that place so special to visit?
Yeah, so we've been fortunate, being on the West Coast and racking up those credits and points from travel that was canceled to be able to go to Maui twice, since the pandemic, and just the hospitality. Obviously the weather is an easy one, but there's such a great balance between relaxation and adventure, and you can really get pretty much anything that you're looking for when you're visiting the Hawaiian Islands. And we do have a wonderful partnership with the Hawaiian Islands, so you'll definitely see them at a lot of the events that we do, and just ramping up at that education to understand, what's the difference between the Big Island and Maui, how qualifying and aligning what that customer is ultimately looking for in their vacation experience. But I could pretty much take the rest of its time, Chris, just talking about how much we enjoy Hawaii. It's our favorite destination.
It's pretty special, no doubt about it. I mean, we talk a lot about the future of travel, and Avoya Travel is very much focused on where our industry is going. And I think a lot of us are really hoping and have our fingers crossed that a real golden period is upon us. Do you think we're trending in the right direction for that to be true, Mickey?
Oh, absolutely. Going back to some of these policy changes that have just been recently announced. I mean, you're kind of peeling back the layers of restrictions of people being able to get out there, whether it's Mexico, Europe, the Caribbean. There's a lot that this world has to offer, and travel is so enriching. So to be able to have so many different product types, to be able to have a little bit more of an ease in doing some of these vacations, absolutely speaks to the trend in what our industry is doing. And again, we're incredibly bullish, not just on the Avoya side, but with our supplier partners and the calls that we have with them.
Taking everything to account, Mickey, and all the conversations that you're part of, and your aspects of your knowledge in the industry, any advice that you might offer someone considering Avoya Travel as their host?
Yeah, so I think to start at a high level, this industry is incredibly resilient. There's always going to be something that pops up, whether it's a virus or gas prices or something that's going to make things appear challenging. But every time we get through it, and that's evident by the sales that we're seeing, the growth that you and your team are bringing to the Avoya network, the new partnerships that we're establishing. Again, I mean, adding 3 new marketing partners in the last week is they wouldn't be doing that if they didn't believe in Avoya and the industry direction. We really truly are best in class with support, technology. Again, not to give my brother-in-law too much credit and inflate his ego, but they do an amazing job in the marketing side. So definitely recommend considering Avoya Travel.
And my team would certainly be more than happy to have that conversation. Mickey McBride, everyone, Senior Director of Strategic Partnerships for Avoya Travel. Mickey, always great to have you on our show. We appreciate you sharing your unique perspectives on our industry, and I look forward to catching up with you here in a few weeks when I make it down to the Innovation Center.
Sounds good. I appreciate you and the team having me on.
Absolutely. Mickey McBride, everyone. Next week, we have a very special episode for On Deck with Avoya. Certainly one you don't want to miss, as we welcome in 2 outstanding guests representing ASTA, the American Society of Travel Advisors. ASTA's global convention is about a month away in San Francisco. This will give us a chance to preview that important industry event, plus get a recap on this year's ASTA Legislative Day, which Avoya Travel was very involved with. as well as find out anything, the latest on their initiatives being worked on by ASTA. So I look forward to having Andrea Caulfield, Senior Manager of Membership, and Alvin Adriano, Director of Industry Affairs, joining us for our show and that great discussion. That'll be next Thursday at our normal time of 2:15 p.m. Eastern, 11:15 a.m. Pacific here for On Deck with Avoya. Another exciting thing that we're very proud to announce, you may have seen marketing already, has been a few things going out, but happy to announce that Avoya Travel now has a veterans discount. We honor those that serve, have served, believe in that value of service. We have $100 off the affiliation fee. We will need to see proof that you are a veteran, which we don't think is that going to be that hard for anyone to be able to provide. My team is more than happy to go over all the details. We're rolling this out in a limited time capacity right now until the end of August, but we're certainly hoping that the response is great enough that we can just make this kind of a normal feature, because again, Avoya Travel salutes those who have and continue to serve this great nation. So really excited about that new veterans discount. Again, my team more than happy to explain the details. And as you would join Avoya Travel, maybe you're new to the industry, maybe this has been your dream, your lifelong dream, to be a travel advisor, to have your own travel agency. Well, now really is the perfect moment, as you heard Mickey McBride talk about, to really invest in yourself and let that dream become a reality. Same thing if you're already an established travel advisor, but you're thinking maybe there's a little bit more out there to help you accomplish all of your dreams. We have the best in class resources, an amazing track record, the relationship with the vendors, the technology, the live leads, everything to help you hit those goals faster and really live out those dreams. All you have to do is reach out to my team and they would be more than happy to have that conversation with you. You can ask your questions, we'll provide our answers, tell our story, find out a little bit about you. And if it all lines up perfectly, we can put together a shared success relationship, and that's what Avoya Travel is known for. So the easiest way to reach out is at our website, avoyanetwork.com. You can always send me an email at chris.green, G-R-E-E-N-E, my last name, at avoyatravel.com. You can give us a call. You can use your camera and scan the code and get some information and get that request started that way. We just want to connect with you, engage with you, have that conversation. We think after you find out all the details on Avoya's resources, it's just a no-brainer. We are the #1 host agency, and we are #1 for a reason. So thank you so much for your time today. Thanks again to Mickey McBride for that fantastic conversation. We look forward to next week's show with our special guest from ASTA. And until then, take care, everyone.